name is Patricia Steere of Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes, and I'm here in Oxford. We are near the river. We just finished a picnic. This is the first ever Oxford, UK Flat Earth meetup, mixer, whatever you want to call it. Great success, lots of people here. And we've got Robert Shortman, who's been to Antarctica and has lived to tell the tale. So, when did you go and why?
I went in 2003 and I went there as a plumbing and heating engineer to maintain and look after all the facilities for the plumbing. And basically it was a daily rota of checking all the equipment, servicing, cleaning and maintaining stuff and making sure all the various sections of the buildings, because they were quite big buildings, the complex.
What bases were you at?
It was at Halley 5, not the new one, which is the modular thing. I've not been there, so I can't say what it
I've
looks
done
like.
a video on it last week.
Yeah, I mean, they've had interesting issues with the ice cracking and them having to shift it because they put it in the wrong location to start with, which was good planning, kind of thing. But yeah, it's a difficult life there, but it's quite interesting with certain aspects of the way that they do deal with the military, they deal with the Navy, and they closely coordinate obviously when they're doing logistical stuff, which is a lot of flying and moving people between things, and medical emergencies and anything like that again dealt with through the Navy and facilities like that. So yeah.
Did you have any sense of restriction? Not just, nobody's going that way, so
well,
you can't
there was
go
a
that
base
way.
perimeter which kind of encompassed like the whole base, so about 1 kilometre all the way around in a circle, and that was roped off, so it meant that if the condition got so bad you couldn't see your hand in front of your face, if you wandered off you wouldn't necessarily go past that, you could grab onto it and then find your way back. But other than that, to go anywhere was quite difficult because it was very icy, but you were restricted, and when it was regards to flights to the supposed South Pole or the American base, the thing that I kind of couldn't quite understand, on a supposed globe Earth, the whole of the Antarctic Treaty is cut up into a big pie chart, and that big pie chart points into the middle, and the middle means that that's where every country converges. So in theory you should be able to walk right to the middle of that point to that, but obviously the Americans are very, very, very restrictive, and you couldn't just fly there, you couldn't just go there. When you went there, they were very, very hostile from the kind of way I kind of respected. You didn't get invited into the base, you had to kind of stand outside or stand where they marked it, kind of thing. I didn't manage to get onto a flight, and all the people when I wintered there, none of those managed to get onto the flight that was going down there. It was the management was the only person, and that was a person that was actually came in on the ship, so it wasn't even a person that was stationed there.
Did the planes have windows?
Planes had windows, yeah. When I was there, I got the lucky chance to actually co-pilot, and all I was doing was lifting fuel barrels and dropping them off at the various ice core drilling places.
The Ross Ice Shelf?
It's all the Ross Ice Shelf,
Really?
But when I did a lot of flying, it tended to felt like I was on a edge curve rather than actually going straight across it. Yes, we were only stationed like 20 kilometres probably from the edge of the ice shelf, but yeah, it is an ice wall. There are not many access shelves that slope up to it. Most of it's like a big cliff, so when they refer to the ice wall, it is what it is, kind of thing.
And how long were you there?
I was there for 12 months, which is the kind of standard period. You can extend it, but 12 months is what I did. And I also managed to go to all the islands in the peninsula as well to do the clean-up operation. I did
Georgia.
Deception Island, South Georgia,
Falkland.
and went to the Falklands for about a month in a period in between, and then I went back and did all the cleaning operation, and yeah, that was with a company called Munro's, and they were doing all the actual building and asbestos removal while I was there.
Well, that goes contrary to what they say is happening. No nuclear waste, no.
Well, yeah, definitely, because all the bases that we did actually clean up were heavily contaminated, some of them with asbestos, and that all had to be removed. And there there was tons of coal and rubbish all strewn over the place. You had to pick it up physically.
What?
So we're talking 3
That's
months of
contradicting what they're saying about the below the 60th,
No
isn't
cigarettes,
No, not even smoking
nothing
in the air.
outside, beyond the 65th, not.
Oh,
So
and
it sounds like the
really-
people who were there just throwing their cigarette wrappers on the floor.
It does. I think that kind of carries on to some degree, and again, what can't be seen can't be questioned. So therefore, you know, they're in such a unique place that they can't be questioned by anybody. So they could literally do anything they like, and who's going to see it and watch and observe
And
or complain?
And who are they going to complain to?
Complain to-
The head of the
Because
base?
everybody that's there is kind of geared up so that they are strong-minded to go in the first place. So
Yes.
they don't just let anybody go there because it is a.
Well, beforehand, did you have to go through a test or something?
You
yeah?
go through like an interview, and then obviously they ensure that you're physically and mentally capable of performing the tasks that you've done there. So yeah, my task was just plumbing and heating, and then a backup electrician, and that was obviously when you go on excursions, because you get a chance to go away when you're there. You don't just work the whole 12 months.
A
So-
last question. Did you have to sign any non-disclosure that you've totally blown today?
No disclosure, but there was an incident when I was there when there was they were doing a fueling depot, supposedly moving into the further into the South Pole, and it was done with the Navy. And when the Navy was there, the helicopter and the two ships were basically doing the fuel logistics, transporting it a mile up the shelf, and we were camped at the bottom. And then the plane, which is a Twin Otter, would then fly the 6 to 8 fuel barrels in the back, which I loaded. To the various points, and then but the helicopter actually crashed with low light, and when that incident happened there was a complete clampdown for 3 days, no communications in or out of the whole thing. So yeah, they've got it pretty much sewn down in that respect, because if they can do that like that, and that's no communication, no cell phone, no nothing, and you're not allowed to get in and out communications, they will refer information to what the event has happened there to your family and close ones, kind of thing. So yeah.
So they want time to prepare a report,
Time to
you know.
prepare a report. So if they can do that,
when
they
to
can do that
release
with
it.
anything, and obviously that's you know,
Yeah.
why it's quite secret to go down there.
So this guy who recently passed away, going to...
Yeah, the
you
two
remember?
brothers in Norway. I've
That
seen
came
this.
out
Yes,
straight
I've
away.
seen it.
He only made it.
I know.
He's died. That sounds a bit fishy.
Yes,
If what they would normally do is keep everything really tight-lit, and then release it, you know, after prepared.
It does,
statement.
because you know I knew if I was there after a month or two of conditioning to the temperature, you know, you pretty much can go out there. I camped for like 2 weeks out in minus 30, 40.
Right.
You know, so you can do it, and it's not a problem. It's easy.
Yeah.
And once your body gets used to the cold, same as if you lived in a desert. Once you get used to the cold, you kind of don't feel it so much, and you can.
What were your quarters like when you weren't camping? What were they
Well,
like?
they're really good, yeah. And it's like I had a bedroom. It was a double bunk. So in obviously summertime they used to double the crew, and that was because they used to raise the building on steel legs, and that
I've
had to be
seen
raised. So
that,
that, when they did that, obviously each year it had to go up a metre or two.
Yeah.
They needed a steel crew that actually could do all the steel work.
Did you have satellite TV?
No satellite TV.
No satellite
Well, the other,
TV.
yeah, I mean, the interesting thing was that they had to, when they were doing a lot of the movements of ice, to get the correct measurements, they couldn't just use any standard GPS thing. No, none of that would be accurate enough. They had to spend a lot of money, and talking like nearly 200 to 300,000 pounds per unit, just so it could actually communicate the distances between that. So, you know, wonder who they get that from, you know, because obviously that's an interesting piece of equipment, military grade, and obviously military grade refers to one person, whoever controls the satellite. So that's, you know, it does kind of tie up, and you know, if they're measuring to see if the ice is cracking or moving, you know, you have to deal in millimeters and inches and centimeters. So you know, you can't just deal with the inaccuracy of a standard supposed GPS or stations.
We're gonna wrap it up here. Robert Shortman, been in Antarctica, worked there, lived there. Martin Leidtke of Flat Earth British has also been here, and Antonio Subirats. And I'm Patricia Steere. We're all in Oxford for the Oxford meetup, and this is Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. More videos yet to come.